Hello.
Hello, friends. Good morning. Good afternoon. It's morning here, so good morning. I'm Eepy. Hey, Enoch. Good time of day. Good night. Goodbye. My the one bad thing about the VTM game is I wear so much eye makeup, my eyes hurt so bad the next day because I also have contacts in. So I was like, I really don't want to put eye makeup on today. Anyway, hi. We're working on some VTM character design of Cassie again because I love her a normal amount and I'm not hyperfixating at all. You can't prove anything. I also have my stupid little glove. My stupid little glove because I keep forgetting to wear it and it actually helps. So we're wearing the stupid little glove today. Um and I can't. Yeah. We're gonna do some, not sure how long we'll stream today. Probably around 2 hours maybe until I just get bored. I don't really have a plan either going into this. I think I'm just gonna do some like sketches and stuff. I'm still trying to like solidify just like Cassie's features and everything, or at least how I want to draw her. I did end up sort of finalizing the sketch I had started last week, and I posted that as well over on like Threads, I think. I like the song. Anyway, truly letting the tism take the wheel with this stream. Isn't that just every stream? Me just like doing my best. I'm I'm trying. But yeah, I've been thinking about just like obviously because we played Vampire last night and then I just be thinking about Cassie constantly. So, you know, when you just have that character that you're just like, I'm just gonna think about you for always. Finishing up work right now. Hell yeah. You've gotten done early the past couple of days. Picture you get it. Sometimes you're just like there's just like a character that just resonates with you so much. Cassie's that character for me. Cassie is honestly one of my favorite characters. Thanks. Bleak had messaged me this morning asking me some stuff about like the next session. And he's like, I just want to say how like uh good like your performance of Cassie is, and like other people have been like complimenting that your performance of Cassie as well. And I was just like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna do it. Um, because like I think that like I was really nervous going in playing Cassie because I didn't want her to be like too much. I didn't want her to like be like super like I feel like with Malkavians, like it can go like either one of two ways. Like you can either do like the jokey character of "oh, I'm crazy," or you can do like just like severe like mood swings and things like that. And I didn't really want to go that route. I really wanted to like make her just be very vulnerable. Um, and at the same time, I didn't want her to be like annoying in that way either, which is like I think like a very fine line to play. Um, but people seem to like her, so I'm happy with how I've been playing her. At least I've been zooming through my roots and then taking a nap. It was hard to let go of Colt. Colt was a good character. All of those characters in that game were good. Sometimes it's just, and then it's like, especially when it's like they don't necessarily get like a happy ending either. Fleur was another character in the first vampire game that was a little hard for me to let go of. Um, I don't know if Bleak's gonna end up bringing her back at any point. She's kind of gone off the rails in the year's interim. Drats was not quick enough to get into Jay's game, but I'm still gonna have a great. Ah, oh yeah, the events and stuff went live today, right? You just hear a little cat scurrying around behind you, and you're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Stop it!" I wonder who got. I wonder who got into that. Them. Sometimes you can see all the possibilities for a character and still get to enjoy them, even if they never would. Yeah, and I like writing about my characters too. Um, like I like writing about my characters and sort of just like doing like little headcanons of like even if it's not like actually canon to their story, I like having like these little ideas. So I definitely agree, creature. It's really nice to even just like think about like the what ifs for your character. I'll keep my eyes out in case someone. I have my fingers crossed for you because I want to play. I want you in the Soft Squad game, Sithy. I'm surprised it like went that fast. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Um, but yeah, I very rarely had like I get like my little hyperfixations for characters. But I think like the last character that I was like this like deeply into was Grief from our Waterdeep campaign. She was like my first full-fledged character for a campaign. And I have so much like artwork of her that I've done and so much like writing I've done for her. She's like my little tiefling druid, my little pink tiefling. And I just loved her. I loved her so much. She was like my and still is one of my absolute favorite characters that I've made. Grief. I have like a whole idea of like what happens like in her like the end of her story. One of my faves as well. Oh, thanks. Is your favorite character the one that was the most fun to play? Trying to think of what my favorite character actually is, like my actually absolute favorite. I think it changes. I think it changes honestly. Um, because I think right now Cassie is my favorite character to play. Um, I think Cassie is very she's just very the mannerisms are very different for Cassie. Like I feel like I get really into Cassie's character. Um and like developing all of the mannerisms and like her little quirks and stuff. How about the Vapor Rub Lady? Vix was very fun to play. Vix was very fun to play. Because Vix was just like she was truly just like the emotionally detached character of the group. Hi, Weasel. Yeah, Vix was very fun to play. Oh my god, Dee Dee. Dee Dee was really I love playing Dee Dee. If you don't know, Dee Dee was my Goblin Warlock character. Her patron was Vecna. And she talked like this, and she was just a little guy. She had dynamite on her. Don't ask her where she got the dynamite. It's none of your business. Dee Dee was like all of my intrusive thoughts. She was the character where like the first thought that came to my mind, I said aloud. Because that's how she would have been. She would have just been like, this is the first thing that comes to mind. I'm doing it right now. Dee Dee was a lot of fun to play. I'd like to bring Dee Dee back at some point. I think Dee Dee's fun. Stop making me feel things. I was just talking how like I really love playing Cassie. Um, I think that there's a lot of me in Cassie. I was like, I think like most people like when they play a character, like they put a little bit of something of themselves into their own character. But like with Cassie, like I feel like there's like a very vulnerable part of me that's in Cassie. Um, shedding. And it's also just fun like picking up her mannerisms while playing. I don't think I've ever I tend to be very like emotive like when I'm playing a character, but I don't think I've ever been like quite like picking up the mannerisms so um in depth as I do when I'm playing Cassie. But yeah. Oh, hi Kurt, by the way. Anyway, I like TTRPGs and playing TTRPGs with my friends. I've been having a blast terrorizing my players. That comes with the Curse of Strahd campaign. I feel like that's like the Curse of Strahd campaign is like the DM's like revenge. I love playing the game of why do I have little marks all over my canvas? What do we doodle requesting, Weasel? Or vampire characters? I figured. You ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, trying to start again? No, actually. I'm good, show. How are you? Do plastic bags have the ability to feel? Maybe. Currently on the hunt for a D19 to purchase. I'm surprised they don't make like D19s. I'm sure there's got to be a shop somewhere. I'm sure you've checked like Etsy and stuff. Do I ever feel like a plastic bag means spending my whole life waiting to be filled and then discarded when you get home? Sorry. Heard it's 10 in the morning. Calm down. This is entertainment. I can't have an existential crisis. It's too early. It's too early. It's Saturday. I'm trying to draw my sweet little bean, Cassie. My sweet little drug addict. I get up to get coffee and everything. It's Kurt's fault. We're blaming Kurt. I love doing this to myself where I find a reference for a angle that is just very awkward to draw, and I'm like, I can do this. On a 17-sided and a 21. Why would there be a 17-sided dice? Just hear your phone. You're like, what the fuck? It's too many notifications. Macy agrees. You found one? Hell yeah. Was it like just like a Etsy shop or? Pretty. Oh, nice. One of the like things that is like really hard for me as an artist is drawing what I see and not drawing what I know. Truly one of like the biggest struggles. You gonna get here till the second week of March, so we shall see how it goes. That's not too bad. Hey, gamer gal, how are you? Was your character from Vampire Games set in the past your first VTM experience? No. So my first VTM experience was a couple years ago. I we played in a Victorian game. My first character was a whore who was one of Jack the Ripper's victims. So actually, kind of similar to what ended up I ended up playing over on Bleak's channel as well. What I believe Creep's character. Been better, but I'm healing. Hope you feel better. What's Vampire the Masquerade? Yeah, I had played a she was actually a caitiff. What was her name? Adelaide. Her name was Adelaide. She was a whore in Victorian England who ended up being, I believe, one of the first Jack the Ripper victims. However, she actually didn't die. She was turned by one of her clients who had a little bit of a fascination with her. Um, she was an interesting character. Um, very um, what a brutal setup for a character. Yeah. But that was like my first time playing like VTM. It was a lot of fun too. Um, I like that character. She was very interesting. I'd like to like redo her in some capacity. I think I just like making really tragic characters in Vampire. I think that's just like my thing. I like making really, really tragic characters. Flora was pretty tragic. Um, like the whole concept of Flora was that she had garnered the attention of Evelyn, who would later be her sire, because of her talent for art. And Evelyn was just like entranced by her art. And Evelyn turned her, and her sort of inspiration and stuff for art started to dwindle. And Evelyn then like basically like discarded her because Flora wasn't producing what Evelyn wanted her to produce. And she was sort of lost in that capacity. But then she had Odette. And Odette was sort of like her shining light in her life. And at the end of the first arc, when everyone sort of went their separate ways, um, Odette was Flora was fairly certain that like Odette like wouldn't want to speak to her ever again after everything that had happened in the castle. And when they met up again in like the 1920s, after like what was it, like 200 years or something like that, um, Flora realized how like deeply in love with Odette she was, even after all those years. And then Odette ended up dying. And so now Flora is just like somewhere in San Francisco, just like fucking just losing her shit. Was it honey? She wasn't producing honey, right? No, just art. And then if you watched the vampire game last night, um, my character is being brought in. She has had something placed inside of her when she was embraced. Uh, my character is being asked to help to basically resurrect Odette, who was my former character's love interest. And we don't know to what detriment that is going to be happening. So yeah, vampire's fun. I'm not traumatized in any way. Oh, dead. Shut the fuck up. Thank you, Morty. I'm scared. Me too. Time to paint some minis. Have fun, Kurt. Thanks for lurking. Sounds fun, to be honest. I've never played a vampire. Only always demons. So I've like, girl. I didn't hear the bit alert. Yeah, it's turned off right now. Because it gets captured with my other stuff. I don't know if you know, but it doesn't show that you're current. Yeah, I turned off my activity. I realize I don't want people to know what I'm doing. I might turn it back on at some point, but but yeah, I turned off my audio. My desktop audio is turned off because I'm playing copyrighted music that I don't want going onto the VOD. And instead of separating out all my audio and dealing with that, I just turn off my desktop audio and have Spotify, and then I turn the track on for Spotify off for the VOD. But yeah, so I know like a lot of people, like especially in like the TTRPG space, have always like there's like this sort of thing where it's like, ooh, like why do you like vampires so much? And it's like I actually never really liked vampires. I thought like the myth, like the lore for vampires was interesting, but like I was like, yeah, I feel like vampires is kind of played out. Um, but within like when playing in like Bleak's games, I'm like, wow, I really do like I like vampires. I like playing a vampire. Vampires is fun. But it's not like fun for me because it's like, ooh, I get to be like this powerful creature and go and like kill people. It's fun for me because I like to explore um the I like to explore the battle that like my characters have between humanity and being an immortal creature and like how that fucks with you. Yeah, the struggle of the beast. I love that the most. I don't care about the power. Like I could even I could play an entire vampire game without ever using any of my abilities. The allure of the storyteller game. Yeah, it's not the mechanics. It's like it's the actual storytelling that could be done within the system and the settings. And I think in playing in like games like Bleak's kind of storytelling, it's made me realize how much I enjoy just like the storytelling aspect of games rather than like the mechanical aspects of TTRPGs. Um, where I would rather just like RP and just enjoy the story that comes along with. I actually don't give a same. I truly I could play an entire game. Like I've done sessions like especially like in All We've Lost where we don't roll for like anything. Where it's just like RPing back and forth. And I played in other sessions on other games where we like there's no need for us to roll anything. Like I like the story aspect. Most of my games are story driven, but there are mechanics, of course. Yeah. I miss All We've Yeah, me too. First week without All We've Lost until April. I decided that I'm giving myself a week off. So starting tomorrow, I will be back to writing for All We've Lost season 3. But I wanted to give myself like a little break. Plus, I need to prep for Alien. But I finished doing that earlier this week. And then there's some other stuff I need to start prepping for as well. Got another game going on in March. I need to work on that stuff also. I completed the map overlay. I did do that. I was working on the promo stuff today, but I'm like so bad with doing promo. And it's almost GaryCon. Yep. I'm waiting for like 2 more things to come for like my Kazara stuff. But I think I have like mostly everything I want to like. I'm not gonna like be like dressing up. I'm only gonna be dressing up for like Kazara, and that's gonna be like very minimal. I was thinking of painting my entire body green, but the game is at like 9 in the morning, so I don't want to deal with that. I like the idea of a setting. Yeah, it's really good too. It's so easy. Thanks, Sithy. I will get those done early next week. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally cool. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get all of the stream scenes set up by Wednesday. I don't anticipate we'll have any issues with any tech stuff because all of you have used Video Ninja before. Just paint your sleep the night before and sleep standing in the hotel closet. I'm gonna actually, I'm going to hang upside down from the rafters like a bat, and that's how I'm gonna sleep. Obviously. It'll allow me to finally make that space opera buddy cop romance war epic. Oh my. Hell yeah. I've been talking like I posted on Threads the other probably like 2 weeks ago. I was like, what is like the one game that like you've like always wanted to run, but you just haven't had the chance yet? And mine is like a space horror, which I'm technically going to be running this week. Well, this upcoming week. Keep hearing about this. What is Threads? Threads is like the alternate version to like Twitter. It's Threads is like the Instagram version of that. It's a separate entity from it's connected to Instagram, but it's a separate app. A lot of people in the TTRPG community have like gone onto it. I'm still waiting to pilot mech suits. Oh my god, the Pacific Rim one too. I need to do that. I have a lot of games that I want to run. I think once I have a little bit more time, like it's like Twitter but less toxic. True. I think I'm gonna start thinking about instead of doing like mini series, I'm gonna start thinking about doing 1 and 2 shots for like especially like I wanted to do the Pacific Rim. I want to do a Mass Effect game. I want to do a Dragon Age game. I have all these games I want to do. I want to do a Perils and Princesses one. And I think like the big thing that's sort of keeping me from doing those games is I know who I kind of want to have in those games, but I don't want to like be like, hey, can you commit to like a month of a mini series? I think like doing like a one shot or a two shot is probably more feasible. What are these? Oh. Um. Hey, hey, ad. I have a D19. That's funny. I was just handed dice. Yeah, I have a D19. You can't really see it. It's a D19. And this is like this is a D11. I think this is a D9. I don't ask Joel where he got these. D17. I will kiss you. I am ready. I am waiting. My lips are plump and moisturized. Mwah. And just because you roll those games out in one or two sessions, yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, later down the road we can like go and explore these characters again. I think I like the idea of like one shots and miniseries because like you can like it's so open ended. You could just be like, yeah, we're gonna come back to these guys in a little bit. Posted a link in the Mind Palace to some weird dice. No D19 though. Yeah, I don't. Joel literally just came over and handed me all of these like odd dice. There's a D5. Um, there's a D7, D11. I don't know where he got them from. I plan on using the D19 fairly maliciously, so probably the best that I got away. Fair enough. Hair on my screen. Nightmare, nightmare. Who is this character? This is my character Cassie. She's my Vampire the Masquerade character for my Friday night games. She is a Malkavian. And Malkavian is basically they are so each clan So there's a bunch of different clans in Vampire. And Malkavian has the curse of being like sort of deranged. So they're just like not quite right. They usually have like visions or they hear like voices talking to them, that kind of thing. I must protect her at all costs. I was talking earlier how I was like, I was kind of nervous playing Cassie, because I didn't want her to be like annoying. I think that was like my biggest like fear was that like she would come off as like annoying and like needy in like a really bad way. I am excited. I'm excited for us to like progress the characters a little bit with this last episode. Yeah, creature. I think Volcavian is like very quickly becoming my favorite clan. Uh Floor was a Toreador, and I really liked playing Floor, but I think like there's a lot of like emotional capacity that you can have with a Malkavian, and I really enjoy that. I'm also excited just for like for everyone else's characters and like the journeys that they go on. Like we've already started to see like Teddy, like the separate side of Teddy that's sort of emerged. And I'm interested to see how like Teddy the person reacts to like the beast within herself and like that kind of how she sort of reconciles with that. Beast it's dude like creep that was like my jaw was like dropped by that entire scene. Excited and nervous for her cos. Ooh, are you switching up the cosplay again? Of who? Her. It's definitely going to be on the theme from last episode. Ooh. Is there going to be blood? I want there to be, but I don't have any fake blood. I have I bought like a pack of like it was like spray blood, like gel blood, and then like liquid blood on Amazon for like $9. That's for tomorrow's game and possible you future vampire. Can the Light series be viewed without having seen the prior series Bleak ran? Yeah, definitely. I think that Lights can definitely be a standalone. There are obviously callbacks because we have callbacks to like our previous characters, Odette. Um and I mean the previous series, if you want to see the previous series, it's only 4 episodes. So it's not like a big like chunk of time that you have to get into. And then now, obviously, we have the one shot that's Bleak did with like Aaron and Steve from Evandale and Kurt. And then we also have the Sabat game that's sort of running in tandem. Um, yeah, it definitely helps to have seen them, but I think you can definitely just watch Lights on its own, and I think it holds up pretty well. Yeah, but there are obviously like Silver. You're going to see Carter, who is Creep's character, Sire, in the Sabat game. And he sort of made an appearance as well at the beginning of Lights to sort of set up everything when they were doing between Santiago and him. Yeah, I don't think that you need to actually view everything in order to like understand what's going on. I think a lot of it is pretty. Bleak does a really good job of explaining in the moment so that everyone is on the same page for like things that have happened. Basically, all of VTM games are in the same universe. I love drawing noses, but they're also just fucking. Are hands the hardest thing for you to draw? I hear a lot of people complain about them. No, I actually like drawing hands. The hardest thing for me to draw is probably like feet. If I don't have like a reference, even when I do have a reference, feet are a little hard to draw. I can draw shoes really well. Shoes was like I used to be really into drawing shoes. Um, but yeah, feet and toes. Toes are fucking weird. Thanks, Mornian. Thanks for lurking, gamer gal. That left eye looks quite lifelike. Thanks. I feel like I've gone through a lot of phases in my art, like and doing a lot of different styles. So I used to do a lot of portraiture. So I feel like I'm pretty confident when it comes to like getting the likeness of someone down. Um I can actually show you guys. I've done a couple of portraits. I was really into doing like portraits of people from movies. Truly need to clean up my gallery. Uh so I did this portrait of Ripley from Alien. Bones' Vampire Lights character portrait was immediately recognizable as her. Yeah. And did obviously this character. I love doing like the these sort of like it's almost like oil pastel or colored pencil type portraits. But again, I love drawing hands. So I love drawing hands and stuff. And I have a self portrait here too somewhere. Oop. This is a self portrait I did. Again, you could tell how long ago it was because I have blonde hair and it's short. I think this was probably 2018. I think she looks like me. I know, back when I had blonde hair. The last portrait I did was your grief Halloween one shot thing. It was just pencil. And how long? Probably this 2 years, 3 years. Yes, these are all digital. So I went to Michael's yesterday and I got some like traditional stuff. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a sketchbook to like GaryCon, and I think I'm gonna spend some time just like sketching. I didn't get a sketchbook. Joel ordered me one off of Amazon because all of the sketchbooks that were in like Michael's were fucking like spiral, and I hate that. I hate spiral. I hate spiral sketchbooks. They drive me fucking crazy because it rips and tears so easily. Um, so Joel bought me one off of Amazon that I did some research on. I'm crazy. I'm not very opinionated about like a lot of things, but like sketchbooks, I'm very opinionated on. Yeah, I'm hoping to. I really wanted to get back into doing like traditional work. I was yesterday I was painting a prop for tomorrow's game. Uh, and I was like, man, I love just like painting and getting my fucking metal fingies all mucked up. Hey, Calamity, how's it going? It is going somewhere. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. We're we are coping with no D&D today by doing some art. Not being brave? Oh, I can't cope. How could you let this happen? I know, I know. See, I have to write for like the next season, so taking a little break. And then like all of us minus one player are gonna be at Gary Con, so we have to take a break for that. So I was like, let me just combine the break. Hi, Lady M. I get a shout out for Lady M. Shouts Lady. Thank you, Calamity. You're doing great. Cat hair on my mic and it like spooked me. Yeah, it was like in the corner of my eye. It looked like something was moving, but it was just like the cat hair on my mic. I'm just out here doing my best. It'd be fair. It would be fair. It would be very valid. What this art of for? So this is my Vampire the Masquerade character, Cassie. We're just doing some concepts and stuff for her to kind of nail down her likeness. Although I guess like her likeness would be me anyway, because like she's my character and I'm playing her. Um, but just like the vibes, we're trying to get the vibes down. This was like a little preliminary sketch I did. This is more like color palette wise. You would make a good Malkavian. I am a Malkavian. She is a Malkavian. So thanks, creep. My friends are so beautiful. I know, right? Imagine having such beautiful and talented friends. I don't have to imagine because it's real. rolls to resist frenzy. Cassie's need for nicotine overpowers her fear of fire. She's like, I want my cigarette and I want it now. I won't be playing my vampire game for 2 weeks. Oh no. Are you the storyteller or are you like a player? And if you're a player, what's your clan? Tell me about your character. Don't have to imagine I have no Christ Bashman. I'm a player. My current character is a Bruja underboss for the Mafia. It's holed up in a cab. Ooh. Is in front for. I love that. I love a Bruja. I love a cabaret club. Great time. Currently, he is a hound for the Camarilla, so there's that. Like Anarch game, Sabat. So we're actually technically Camarilla right now. Um, so the premise is that our characters, the party, um, were embraced by Sabat, members of Sabat, basically to be like cannon fire. Camarilla swooped in, came in, and then the four in the party were the only survivors essentially, and we're sort of under a probationary period before we're sort of formally accepted into the Camarilla. And we are currently dealing with some things. My character has gone into a place where she was explicitly told not to go. Another character, Creep's character, just killed three people, four people. She is a gangrel, and the beast came out. So that's probably fine. Another character is a follower of Set, which is not great. Sounds like a state, yeah. Slatest with long hair. There aren't a lot of references for long flapper stylings, are there? Most I find are either really short. It looks like they stuck their finger in a light socket. Yeah, I think like the style back then was to have short hair. Or they like rolled it up underneath so it looked short. But I think at least like the popular style back then was to have like shorter hair. He has broken and hidden several Camarilla laws. Whoops. Yeah, my character is just like incredibly fragile at this point. There's been like so my character, like her backstory, her like human backstory is that like she her parents were junkies who abused her basically. And she was sort of popped back and forth between like foster homes until she was put into like a foster home with under the care of this woman, April. And April ended up being like this like revolutionary figure for her in her life. She like turned her life around. Ended up like graduating high school. She was in college. I believe she was 24 when she was turned. So I think she would have been going to get her master's in like psychology. Um, and then some shit happened that caused her to spiral again. She sort of always had like battled with like mental illness and stuff. And something happened that caused her to start to spiral again. And she kind of fell in with like the bad crowd, and ended up getting embraced while like high in like a flop house. And yeah, she was embraced that way. She was embraced by a Malkavian. She's Malkavian, so she's dealing with like a lot of like visions and thinking that she's fading away. She sort of has this thing where like the first couple of months after she was embraced, she was almost like in like a fugue state where like she thought like she was a ghost, just like kind of walking through the world of the living. And that's like a big fear of hers, is turning back into a ghost in which she thought she was a ghost. So every now and again she'll like people won't notice that she's there, and that sort of starts to send her to spiral. And we have like another one of the characters in the party, Teddy, played by Creep, who's like very like reassuring to like, no, you're still here, I still see you. Because it's very easy for her to just like start to spiral into like a panic mode of thinking that she's turning into a ghost again. So a lot of the themes around like the last couple of episodes was kind of like ghost themes and like not being there. So appropriate. Yep, so appropriate. Notes don't shun the character. So my character right now is very like fragile. Um and the first arc that we're doing is also sort of the prelude to like the main campaign. This takes place 4 years, 5 years um before we pick up in present day. There's a whole setting called Wraith the Oblivion. It's about ghosts. Oh, I love that. I need to look into that. But yeah, that's like Cassie's big fear, is turning into a ghost. It sort of stems from her abandonment issues as a child, leading up until like her early adolescence and everything. Um, she's got abandonment issues. She's just a gal. Also, I have an ad break coming up, so we're gonna take a cheeky little break here to run that ad, and I can also go to the bathroom. So I will be right back, y'all. Stick around. Okay. Hi. We're back. Just put my stupid little glove back on. Oh. Thanks, Queecha. My stupid little glove. It's not stupid if it were. Cried while you were away. I don't know whether or not I can fully emotionally and financially recover from this. Well, I cannot offer financial compensation. I'm poor. I can offer emotional compensation with a sorry you cried. Better luck next time. We do be broke. I can offer you $1 of compensation. We'll buy a stick of gum. A singular stick. I also realized I'm listening to Bad Omens and I'm also wearing a Bad Omens fucking t-shirt. Tell me you're obsessed with the band without telling me you're obsessed with the band. If you were to shoot to the concert. True. Hey Tonk, how's it going, man? Just putting some Oh, nice. You like redoing your basement? You have passed the mirror test. Good art. um, I I do be flipping my canvas pretty often. Never heard of the mirror test. So it's basically like sometimes when you're doing something and like if you don't flip the canvas or look at your picture in the mirror, like use a mirror to see how it looks reversed, uh it's very easy to notice any sort of like uh asymmetrical features when you do that. Um like sometimes like you'll be drawing a picture and the eye will be like way up here and you're like, what the fuck, how did that happen? It is good to put more ground on the ground. Hope that went well. You're an ace. I am an asymmetrical feature. I was also saying last night that like when I play Cassie, I want it to sound like she's about to cry at any given minute. So I feel like I've been drawing her like just like with tears on her face. Artemis, no. No window. Out here entertaining and now teaching. Yeah. That's what I do. play the end of Mass Effect 3 before each session to really listen. So the good thing, like, I don't know if it's just like this particular character, but I could have made myself cry probably about 4 times last night. Uh if I really wanted to. You can fit so much floor on this ground. Artemis. Why'd you go back there, dummy? The reciting of the names at the end almost got me. Oh yeah, I was like fully prepared to just start fucking like bawling. It's to hide the body of those who gave me talk. But yeah, my favorite part about Cassie is that she sounds like she's going to cry. She sounds and she looks like she's about to cry at any given moment. Truly a mood. Sorry, how are you liking Nightingale? Joel and I started playing it earlier this week, and I was playing it on stream, but it's just like really it's not optimized for stream, I don't think, because my shit was lagging so bad. But I do want to play it a little bit off stream. I'm really liking it. Nice. Yeah, I need to put a little bit more hours into it. Really get into it. Haven't been able to yet. And the highest graphic settings are not really any better than quality settings. Really? I mean, it is early access, so I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. Um, yeah, I was trying to play it, and I was just like, my cam's lagging, the game's lagging. I love this. Me too. I just love Bad Omens. Much fun when you get the magics with the pew pews. I just turned the graphics down to quality for smoother gameplay. Yeah, so I turned down the graphics quality and it was still lagging. So I was like, maybe it's just like not meant to be for me to play on stream. Any other games coming out that you're looking forward to? So 2 games came out this past week. I think one was called Garden Life. think that's what it was called. I'm really looking forward to that because it's just like pretty aesthetic, like making a garden sort of thing. And then Pacific Drive. I'm planning on maybe attempting to play Pacific Drive on stream. I'm looking forward to that. I just haven't picked it up yet. I do want to play Helldiver here into the future. Yeah, we're actually going to be playing that later today. So Mornian and I were going to check that out. I know nothing about the game, but I have seen like gameplay of it. I was like, this looks interesting. I have looked up and read nothing for that genuine what the fuck are we doing experience. Yeah, I'm looking forward to just being like, I don't know what I'm doing. Do I shoot things? Is that the goal? People I work with say it's fun. It's a rehash of Starship. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm in. I forgot Cassie's got. She's got little freckles too. You never can really tell on stream, but Cassie do have little freckles. We know who's lighting her smoke. A ghost. That's why she's gonna cry. No, I imagine. So I told Bleak I wanted like a love interest for Cassie. So I'm scouring. I'm scouring for a love interest for Cassie. So maybe her love interest in the future. Crying's such the default for Cassie though, so Cassie really tugs on my must protect feelings. That's the yeah. They can pass for vampires if no one scrutinizes why they never seem to drink. Oh, that's really cool. That's dope. And I did reveal last night that like Cassie has a very particular she's got a very particular type of blood that she needs to drink. I'm into this sketch so far. I wasn't gonna do like a full like render of it, but I might. I like it a lot. Thanks. Spent most of the time slackjaw watching you draw. You know, I have some moments where I'm like I go kind of months without drawing anything, just because like inspiration is a fickle bitch. Um, but when I do, I'm like, oh fuck, I can draw. I know how to draw. It's like that realization. Oh wait, now I see your likeness in Cassie. Yeah, I think she sort of looks like me. Her nose is a little bit smaller. My nose is pretty pointy. I think that's what like I also like about like playing like sort of games like Vampire, where I'm like I like the character's just me. It could just look like me. The Last Supper module. So I'm fairly new to like Vampire. I would love to run like a Vampire game as well. I think that would be a lot of fun. I need to capture a few features for like just come out. It gives you room to play around with the look. Yeah. I have a lot of fun with like Cassie's makeup and stuff um for like my little cosplay of her as well. I think you would run it. Aw, thank you, Tom. Storyteller games were made for DMs. Yeah, like I feel like I would have a lot of fun with it. It's on the roster. It's on the roster for at some point, you know. I like D&D, but I feel like the mechanics hold back the role play sometimes. Many hours playing. Yeah, like I want to get more into it. I want to I really like have enjoyed playing Vampire a whole lot. And I agree, Creature. I think like all we've lost like I kind of went with D&D because that was like the system that I was most familiar with as like a DM. Where I felt comfortable being able to make like any sort of calls or rulings or anything as a DM. But I think that moving forward, any sort of stories in All We've Lost are any future stories after we end the main campaign. I think I'm going to switch to a different system because I think that I don't think D&D is just conducive for what I want to do, like the type of like stories I want to tell. Spent a fair amount of time in the 90s stuck on Storyteller. Fuck D&D. I know, right? Like I enjoy playing like the occasional game of D&D. Um, but I think I have so much more fun in other systems and exploring other types of games and settings. I think I'm also getting burnt out on like high fantasy, to be honest. Uh, which is why I'm like so pumped for like Alien. That's why I'm so pumped for Vampire because it's like, you know, like I love high fantasy, but I want to do other stuff. Like I'm really looking to do like a Regency sort of inspired game. I just bought have it next. I just bought Court of Blades. Um it's very large. It's forged by what is it? Forged in the Dark game. I think I actually might set this type of game in All We've Lost and have it just be like pure like Regency vibes. The only fantasy shit I want to play is like war vibe stuff. Yeah, like dark fantasy, really fucked up shit. How high? Super high me. So for yeah, kids on bike. I want to do a kids on bikes game too. You can only have so many red M&M ones before you really want a green one. And I think like a lot of so I started playing like D&D and TTRPGs back in like 2020, and I didn't play anything but like D&D high fantasy until like 2022. And so it was just like 2 years of just like all high fantasy stuff. And I'm like, man, I need something else. I need something else to wet my whistle. I have 5 games scheduled at GaryCon, and not one of them is D&D 5e. I know you're saying you want to do, is it Shadowrun? Is it Shadowrun or Shadow Dark? What other games did you sign up for? I'm winning Savage Worlds so I can run anything and everything with one system. I've been looking at Savage Worlds. I want my fantasy and my sci-fi to be dark and grimy. I'm so excited for the Alien. Oh, I'm so excited. I finished prepping, like doing like the writing prep for the first session. Just because like if you're not like if anyone's not familiar with like the cinematics for Alien, they give you like events, and some of the events are mandatory that you need to run through, and then there's other events that are like optional. So I was like picking the optional ones that I wanted to have you guys encounter. So I'm pumped for that. I'm trying out Call of Cthulhu tonight, hence the hair. I'm interested in the difference between Pathfinder and D&D. Oh, I think I want to do a Call of Cthulhu game too. I just want to do all of the games. I just want to do all of them. I can't wait. I can't wait for all of the upcoming games too. Shadow Dark, AD&D 1E, and D&D and Original. Nice. I like my TTRPGs. Like I like my women dark and gritty. Jesus Christ, Sithy. Yeah, I definitely like games that are like I love like a sort of like lighthearted fantasy game, but I have the most fun RPing in like that dark and gritty sort of environment. Um and like I get really into the RP when there's like it's like there's a lot of emotional trauma involved. Yeah, we always need more emotional trauma. Playing at Gary Gygax's old house on that side. Oh, that'll be so much fun. Thanks for lurking, creep. Time to go out into the world. I am so sorry. Be brave. Godspeed. I want to try a dark one. Cthulhu deals with sanity checks, but not sure how dark. So I've heard that. So I haven't played Call of Cthulhu at all, but I've heard like depending, like, and it is really entirely dependent on like your story, the person who's doing like DMing and everything. But I've heard Call of Cthulhu can get really dark and grim. There's nothing wrong with a little casual masochism, right? Um, and we were talking last night, um, because me and Bones are opposite of each other when it comes to like, uh, our crying in games. So I get really into like my characters and I put a lot of like emotional emphasis on my characters like for fiction and I cry very easily when it comes to like things happening to my character like when Odette died. Like I cried on stream cuz like Floor was fucking like, devastated over that. Um Whereas in like real life, I'm very like emotionally detached and like it's really hard to get like an emotional reaction out of me. I like IRL. Whereas like Bones is the opposite, where Bones like cries over things in like real life, and then like it's really hard to make her cry over something like that's happening in a game. Uh, but like I was like, yeah, Bleak, you're gonna end up making me cry again. Like it's just inevitable. Like I just be crying, dude. Uh, Call of Cthulhu is good though, especially 7th edition. I played Eldritch Horror, the board game, and that was dark. I think I have that. I think I have that game. I do want to play a Call of Cthulhu game. I'm like endlessly fascinated with Eldritch Horror. While also being, you have to be critical of like Lovecraft because he was a lot of problematic things going on there. But I think being able to say, hey, the creator of this sort of genre was a dirtbag, while also saying, I can enjoy things. You can enjoy things while still being critical of them. I have Elder Signs. We play a lot. He was a product of his times. Yeah. Still, very problematic. A lot of things that he wrote were not okay. But yeah, I think it's you're still allowed to enjoy something while being sort of critical of it. Cat's name. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you knew what I was fucking putting down, Calamity. This talk made me want to play Arkham Horror again. That's a board game, right? I've seen that. Seen that. Forgot I was working on the hand, and I just like started drawing on the face again. Takes a few long hours. We have a pretty like big game store near us, and um, I'm always like, man, I just want to buy all of these board games, but we never have time to play any of them. Nothing but role playing and no dice rolling. Most GM needs to decide something. See, I feel like I'd be jiving with that. I've also like I've seen like another board game that I've been like very interested in, and it's like it comes in like it looks like there's like VHSs. It's like VHS. It's supposed to be like a horror series. And like there's different I want to say like there's like different playbooks that you can go and get. Can't remember the name of it though. Family and friends get together and play board games, BYOB, and we decide to have taco bar. We did a fondue night. It was good times. Oh, I love that. I also have some Brian Lumley and August Derleth, which also wrote in the Cthulhu vein. Nice. I'm curious to see someone stream a session of Mummy. What is that? Like the Mummy? Is it horror? Yeah, it's horror. I see it every time, and I'm like, I want to just buy all of them. But like, it's like fucking $20. Final Girl, yes, that is it. Thank you, Kurt. Are you my mummy? It was a World of Darkness game. Storyteller mummy. Ooh. Interesting. I feel like I have to like look up these things that everyone's telling me about. I laughed when I first saw it, but I'm curious how they made a game out of it. Are you my mummy? All these stray strokes coming from. I have my glove on. It's a one-player game. It's really fun. It's you versus the game. Very, very cool. I have this, ooh. I think that's why I was like, oh, I want this, because it has like a xenomorph thing. What's up, Moist? How are you doing, man? I know there's a board game digital tables. I have board game arena account, but I haven't with it. I saw almost sold the books for Earth Dawn. I love that system. What's that, Tonk? Not too bad. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. We're doing some art, because I'm depressed that there's no D&D today. Of my own volition, mind you. Earth Dawn, dwarves, and such on a future Earth. A while since I know. Well, you're always welcome here. Yeah, I like drawing hands. Hands are fun. However, nightmare. Gone is the same world as Shadowrun, but earlier. Gone is an older system that uses step action dice to roll. It's set in a time where magic was at its peak in the horrors room land, looking because they feed on your pain. Oh, interesting. Same world as Shadowrun. Shadowrun's the cyberpunk high fantasy thing, right? Where it's like there's like cyberpunk and like elves and dwarves and shit, right? I keep getting like Shadowrun and Shadow Dark like stuck in my like mixed up in my head. My little noggin. Oh, Steckers, Street Samurai, Shadow Dark is D&D with no dark vision and no spell slots. Nice. Yeah, I think I I don't know if this is like a controversial opinion or not. I don't like um I don't like my fantasy and my like sci-fi shit mixing. I don't like I really don't like the thought of like dwarves and elves in like a cyberpunk setting. I think I've talked about this before on stream as well. So I don't know if it's like controversial or not, but I don't like that kind of thing. I like my sci-fi and my cyberpunk to be pure. No elves. No dwarves. Oh. Dwarves are great in any setting. See, I don't like. Here's my other controversial opinion. I fucking hate dwarves. Hate dwarves. Hate them. I'm a hater of the dwarves, man. People, yeah, no, and like I'm not out here like yucking anyone's yum. Like if you love that kind of thing, I feel like you love Shadowrun and like all of the that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, it's that not out here telling you not to. I think it's like, yeah, you do you, boo. Like, and I like that, like, I can have this conversation with like you guys without y'all like jumping down my throat or me jumping down your throat about it because we're all adults, you know? Who like to get weird. Do I want to know, Sithy? Do you hate them? Do you hate them because they are short or because they are Scottish? See, I love a Scottish accent, so that's not the reason. I don't know why. I just don't like dwarves. I have like an aversion to them. I include dwarves in like in All We've Lost, but I know I do it very begrudgingly. Small hands smell like cabbage. Hey, take that back. I am not an adult. Okay. We're all little guys. Who are just little guys who don't want to hurt each other's feelings. Is that better? Is your hatred recent? Oh no, like I've always like just not like dwarves. Even before I got into like TTRPGs. I just don't like Snow White. I don't know. How about halflings? I like halflings well enough. I don't really like gnomes. No, we totally hurt each other's feelings. We just don't take it personally. Suffice to say, it's the main reason I don't mix romance into my TTR. That's so fair. I was having this conversation with like, um, with Joel the other day, about like like romance, like as a woman, like romance involving in like the involvement of romance in like TTRPGs. Um, like I feel very comfortable like doing romance stuff with like Bones or Creep. Um, and there are like certain like DMs that I would feel comfortable having that like as a player having like a romance option as like an NPC. Like Bleak would be one of them. And then there's like some where I'm like, I don't know that I would want like to have like a romance like subplot going on in this particular game because I think it would just make me feel uncomfortable. And it's not like any sort of reflection on like them. It's more like I would just not feel comfortable like as a woman at the table having a romance like with an NPC that is played by the DM. Like I would rather have like if like Bones or Creeper at the table, I'd be like, I'd rather just romance you. Yeah, you have to really trust the people that you do have. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Cookie. How you doing, Cookie? I'm not looking up what a lighter looks like, so forgive me if this is wrong. Hey, Rad. There are too many little tonks running around in the fantasy world to do RPG. Just put a port. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Um, yeah, I've just had like weird encounters with like romance stuff in like TTRPGs where I'm like, I don't think I feel comfortable with this. Like, um, has to be like a very like particular. Bless you. Has to be a very particular like table for me to be like, yes, I want a romance. Like for Cassie, I was like, I want a romance for Cassie. I find romance seems to best serve as a setup for tragedy. Yeah, Laura and Odette. Truth be told, I don't feel super comfy with most romance with my character. Yeah, like for a lot of my characters, I like have never wanted like a romance thing. Or if I do have like a romance thing, it's like a romance thing that's like in the past for them. Like with Grief, like Grief's had has like a dead husband. Or like Vix. Vix had like a child, so she was like so she was like she had like a couple and she's always like lovers and things like that in the past. Let me join one of your games, Morgan, and I will romance you. Yeah, you need a group that is very mature and feels comfortable. And like I get like I can do like flirty stuff. Like flirty stuff doesn't bother me, but like an actual like romance, like because that like involves a lot of like vulnerability on like everyone's part. Even though it's like in character, like there's still a lot of vulnerability that you sort of let up like as a player in those situations. And I'm emotionally detached, as many of you know. So maybe just a deep romance, like we wear each other's underwear, like after the other person had already worn the underwear, just so you have like your ball sweat mixing. Is that what this is, Sithy? Yes, the obviously. Go get him and send him first. I like how this is turning out. I'm into this. I'm probably gonna work on this a little bit off stream as well, because I like this a lot, but we're coming up on 2.5 hours. And I still need to eat today, as well as go grocery shopping and stuff. So I think I'm going to end it here. I've watched some games with romance and felt uncomfortable for the person playing. I've had that too, where I'm like, is this really okay? All right, is everyone okay with this? I don't think they knew the DM was going that way. Oh, that's awesome. That's awful. I don't like that. So obviously, like, if you watch All We've Lost, you guys know that like Aleph and Olenya have romance. You know, they have the romance partners. And like, but that was something like I talked to them about it quite frequently. I'm like, hey, how are you liking this particular aspect? Like, how are you finding the romance? Is there anything that you don't want? Is there anything more that you want? And it was also something like romance had been something very specifically that they had requested, like before we even started the game. But I do check in quite frequently to be like, hey, is everything okay? Some people take life too seriously to be having fake romances in TTRPGs. Communication is key. It is. Yeah, I'm very like adamant. I'm like, hey guys, how we doing? I hope everyone's okay. But yeah, we're actually gonna go right over into Apple. Apple is another member of Seekers of the Fall over on Evandale, and they are a sweetheart. Thank you, Queecha. I like to add NPC that groups loves and wants to be around. Then I kill that little bitch to see their reaction. You're a monster dog. Thank you so much, Queecha. And thanks for hanging out today, guys. Thanks, Morn. I like talking about TTRPG stuff, so it's always fun to kind of come and like do art and then just kind of be yapping. But we're gonna go right over into Apple. They're making a drag film. So we're gonna go see how they are and give them a little love. So stick around for the raid. But tomorrow, make sure to go follow if you're not already following Creep. I don't know what you're doing. Make sure to go follow Creep. We are going to be over on Creep's channel 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for a very special two-parter Morkborg game. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited about my character. I'm super excited about mine and Creep's characters together. And then this upcoming week, Monday night, we're going to be back over on Folk and Myth for the final episode of Arc 1 for Vampire. Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll be doing a little something. I'm not sure yet. I'll have a schedule up tomorrow for you guys. And then Thursday is going to be Seekers of the Fall. And then Friday is going to be Alien Part 1. We'll be taking on Chariot of the Gods. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'll have some promo stuff out this week. But yeah, thanks for hanging out today, guys. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.